Hey, welcome back. In this video, we're going to be talking about paid traffic. And paid traffic is probably my favorite way to bring traffic to virtual summits because you have basically all the control of it. You decide who sees it, you decide how much money you want to spend on it, and it's less dependent on people mailing for you and less dependent on kind of attraction of the organic post. So to me, this is more like you turn the faucet of traffic on and then starts flowing, and it's up to you and to your marketing to convert that traffic. It's going to like a traffic store, just spending some money to buy traffic. You basically can turn it on immediately, turn it off when you want to turn it off. So let's go ahead and get started on this part of the training. When it comes to paid traffic, the platform that I recommend right now, the most effective is they are Facebook and Instagram. And if you guys know, Instagram is owned by Facebook, so the ad platform and the ad manager where you're working on, it's just basically the same. You just add additional creative and additional content for the Instagram format, but you're managing the ads from the same platform. And when it comes to our summit, there's really three phases when it comes to specific to paid traffic. The phase one is just to generate leads, to acquire those leads and get people to sign up to your mailing to email list. Phase two is the consumption piece, when you're encouraging and getting people to consume the content of your summit. And number three is the opening of the sales window. Basically is when you're actually selling the recordings, when you're focusing the majority of your traffic or your paid traffic towards the sales pages and the sales material. Starting with the lead generation phase, this is all about putting people in your email list, about having them save their spot for the event in a way, because once you get them in there, you can start marketing to them for free, not just the stuff of the event, not just the content of your summit, but also in the future, additional offers, additional content, other resources way after the event has ended. Um, Here, recommend you start early, about 6 weeks or more if possible, and start testing the ads with different offers and different creative. Now, when I say offers, I mean the copy and the kind of the calls to action they use, the different ways you use to entice people to join that that event, and you use different creative. And by creative, I mean banners, pictures, calls to action, things that are the things that are part of the regular ad. And I'll show you some of the creative that we use. Um, and then you're able to test different audiences. So if you give yourself 6 weeks, or maybe let's call it 4 to 6 weeks, you're able to test which audiences are responding the best to your creative, to your ads, and you can identify which ads are working the best. So you're able to then, once you get closer to the event, leverage that knowledge and those tests that you ran early on to push more budget and push more money towards those ads and those specific audiences. Now, ideally, you are familiar somewhat with Facebook ads. If you know, we'll have a video kind of giving you a broad overview of how the platform works. But for the most part, if you don't have an exact audience, if it's the first time you're running an event or running ads, you don't have any kind of audience or any kind of behavior-based kind of patterns within the groups that you've been targeting, you want to then start working on themes. For instance, what magazines are people reading? What TV shows are they watching? What brands do they follow? What influencers do they follow? What competitors do they follow? Because then you can start figuring out what type of themes are more likely to be closer to your event, and what type of audiences based on those themes are going to react the best to your lead offer. Now, what you want to do is just cluster interest within the same category. Like if you take 4 or 5 magazines, you take 4 or 5 TV shows into each individual clusters. For instance, if you have 4 or 5 softwares, you can just call that category softwares. And then all put those into one category, and then use those to segment and make evaluations to see what the audience is reacting the best. And a way to say is, if you have books and you have movies and you have authors and then you have influencers, those four categories, you want to have multiple books in that book category, multiple TV shows in that TV show category, and then you'll see, okay, which one of these categories of these themes is responding the best to my lead generation campaign. And then from there, you can then break him up into, let's say the books are the ones that are doing the best. Then you can break up the categories into, okay, which books? Let's select 5 to 6 top books and then see which one of those books is doing the best. So you're kind of sorting through the different categories based on the performance of those initial tests. The second part, the consumption piece, is more about getting people to consume the content, because there's no point in having people on your list if they're not going to buy from you, if they're going to hear from you, or ignore the content you're providing to them. So once you have your initial campaign of leads, you want to create a custom audience for people who are those leads. So once you create that, you send out advertisement to those people who are leads to consume your content. So for instance, once you have them once you say you have visitors that visit your site on the lead campaign, and then they become leads, then you want to target those leads and send them not just the emails to the content, but you want to send them ads to them to remind them of the content, because sometimes they don't go back to the emails, or they may not have as much of an attention inside their email inbox, but if they see the ad again from you and they already signed up for it, and they see ad specifically to the content, they're more likely then to engage. For example, you may want to create a custom audience for people that follow such and such speaker. Like if you have a specific speaker that starts on a day, you can have an audience that is for those who follow that speaker and also sign up for your list, and then you can serve them ads that reconnect. Sorry, you can retarget them with ads that are specific to the session of that speaker. You can run those ads for 24 hours. Say, hey, so and so is speaking now. Like say you have Gary Vaynerchuk as a speaker, and you target everyone who is on your list, but also follows Gary Vaynerchuk, and say, hey, Gary Vaynerchuk is running, it's speaking now. Go check it out, and that would drive people from Facebook back to your event, back to the pages of your content. Now, these are people that are already in your list, on your list. So you don't want to send them back to the opt-in page. You want to send them directly to the session of that speaker. Use video as consumption pieces. Show them 30-second clips or kind of the teaser or golden nuggets, and then rope them in to watch the rest. Like if you can take those mini clips of the session and then say, hey, here's what we're talking about right now. Boom, send them those ads to that audience, and then and then they can click on the link of the ad to continue to watch the entire session. So what we're doing here is really enticing people to consume the content. The more the content they consume, the better the chances they're going to buy, the more they're going to stay in your funnel. And now the third phase is sales. So this is one of the, I think it's the most important phase, is for people who already are leads, and also people who are already leads and consuming the content. You want to reach everyone you can with the ads. So they're going to buy, they're excited, they're motivated. So once they have signed up for your list, you start sending them not just the emails. Again, this is the idea here, is that you're showing up in multiple places for them. These are people that have raised their hands and they're interested. So you send them directly to the sales page. For the first 24 to 48 hours, you want to reach everyone, because that's when they're, again, that's where they're more excited and more motivated. That's where they're more like top of mind awareness of they just signed up for this event. Test between sending them straight to the sales page, but also directly to the checkout page. So you want to test the two of them. I've been surprised as a lot of times the checkout page would outsell the ads for the sales page. The first ad you send out should say something like, "Hey, buy now." Then you can send them another one in the middle of the event, in the middle of the kind of the week or day 2 or 3, depending on how many days you have, that that features the bonuses or features some of the premiums that they're going to be getting. And then on the last session, or the last part of the event, then you kind of have like a closing tonight or last chance, because what we're doing here is, again, giving the audience that already signed up and already show interest the ability to see the ads and see the promo multiple times. So it's kind of a staggered effect of, getting them in different areas and different where they're, different locations, like on their social media, on their email, and trying to get them exposed as much as we can, as exposed as we can to that message. So when it comes to the spending, you want to create what we call the hourglass spend. You spend on the first day, you spend a good chunk of money at the beginning of the event, not before where you did the testing, but like while the event is opening up, you want to spend a big chunk there, because a lot of times people are hot, people just sign up, this event just started. Sometimes the pricing is, you have the deal with the special pricing is ending. So you get a good chunk of people there at the middle. Then you slow down, reduce the spend in the middle, and then in the last 2 days or the last kind of 24 hours, you open up again. You want to try to capture as many people as you can that didn't buy, with that scarcity and it's ending now, or the special pricing is ending now type of approach. And then when you're retargeting, you wanna create audiences specific to the sales page. People who visited the sales page, you want to pixel them and retarget them with different ads, retarget them saying something different and perhaps something more aggressive than you did in the prior ads, or directly to the checkout page, or featuring some different bonuses and different things that may have missed during the initial read. So once somebody reaches your cart, and so anybody who reaches your cart, you want to retarget them with an ad that says something like, "Hey, we're holding your cart for you," and then send them back directly to their checkout page. Once somebody purchase it, and somebody gets to the thank you page, you exclude them from that audience. You basically create a new audience and exclude them, so they don't see the same content, and you don't waste any money on people who already bought. When you're testing ads, you're looking for a 1% link click-through rate. So basically, you want 1% of the people who sees the ad to click on the ad. If your ads have high click-through rate but low conversion, there's something between your ad and your landing page is not really connecting. There's either a disconnect between, because if you got a lot of people excited to go to a page, but once you go to the page, they don't convert into leads, there's a disconnect. So you're better off making that, that jump of that bridge closer. So even if you get great click-through rate, it doesn't really matter if you don't get good conversion. You want to increase the conversion as much as possible, even if it means a lesser click-through rate at the front. You want to have some what they call synergy. Create ads that has similar colors, faces, and concept as the landing page, because a lot of times when we get a lot of low conversion rate is because there's a disconnect. Like I said, there's something that is not congruent. So if you, like, for instance, if you have a free download on the ad, that's a typo, on the ad, and then a free download on the landing page, it says watch now, it's going to be a disconnect. So you want to have free download here, or save your ticket, save your spot, save your spot. So something that is congruent on the ad calls to action between the ad and the landing page. use ads that simply that look like content, that are kind of explaining things that are part of the event, or kind of somewhat of a longer form post with the image that looks like an article that does something interesting they want to learn more. These are things, all things you want to be testing and see what's working, what works best. Target, and this is something that kind of, like I said before, even from the get, you can target specific speakers with banners with their image, right? If you have, so like, I'll use Gary Vaynerchuk again. If you have Gary Vaynerchuk in your summit, you can target his audience with an ad that has his image attached to your summit, or a video of the session that you did with him, because you know, only people who are familiar with him and like him are going to be seeing that ad. Now, some tips and tricks is stick with short videos or with images. Don't make it too complex. Don't make it too long. You want to entice them to go click on the, you want to create some framing, but then have them go click and sign up as quick as possible. Now you can add different images on Facebook and create a kind of like a slideshow video. So you want to look at that. Test video ads against images. Test the little snippets or teasers of the actual sessions against images, and against images with the speakers, images of the event. So just, you want to test all sorts of things with those creative. Know that 80 and 90% of traffic, it will be coming from mobile, depending on the audience and on the market. Might be lower or higher, even higher. When they watch the video, the click, you know, when they watch the video, make sure that the whole image is clickable. Make sure that the problem with a lot of times with some of these videos is when you click on it, it just opens the video. It doesn't really opens the link. So an image, it's fully clickable. So you want to make sure that when you're testing, if you're doing a lot of mobile and you have placement for mobile, the video is something that might not convert as well. People may watch the video but may not click on the link, because when you, again, like when you open it on mobile, it just opens the whole video. It doesn't necessarily open the link. When you look at an image, you click on the image, the whole thing is clickable. So the chances of them going with an image is higher than if it's a video. Use testimonial as video ads. They're really powerful for people who bought, or for people who are customers that have gotten results. Your first, so this is something that I put as a caveat, your first set of ads will probably not work. Don't put too much thought and too much crazy, ninja, don't spend too much time on creating the best, most epic, copy and that you can. Usually testing more, it's better. You may have an idea of what's going to work, test it, but then don't get discouraged if it doesn't work, because it's more of a numbers game. The more ads and creative and copy that you test, the better you're going to have an idea of what's going to be working, rather than trying to figure out, on the back end, what's the one ad or the one combination that's going to work. And then test, always continue to test. This is something, when you think something is going to be a good ad, usually is not. And when you think something just going to be horrible, not do well, sometimes that becomes your star ad. So again, you cannot predict this. This is more of a testing and numbers game. So the other type of ads that you could do is what we call giveaway ads. And these are our ads that are giving something away for free, not related to the event, but it's related to, sorry, not mentioning the event, but it's somewhat related to the topic of the event. So it'll attract an audience that is likely to be interested in the event and in the summit. So the idea here is to collect as many leads for cheap as we can. And then we're able to, once we get those leads, we market the event to them. So what you want to do here is just create a highly desirable giveaway. Just take something that is worth at least $200-300 and create a giveaway with that. make sure you're just following the kind of giveaway guidelines. And I could talk more about that in a future video. But what you're doing is you're building a general list around the topic. It's, again, you usually get cheaper and less qualified leads, but since you're getting them for so cheap, you usually don't care that they're less qualified, because you will capture some that are qualified, and then the math kind of evens out. And then you send that list, that general list, to your summit landing page from your email. The good thing about this is you're able to send them and that audience as many times as you want until they unsubscribe from your general list. So what you're doing is you have your general list once, and you send them emails to sign up for your summit, which puts them on your summit list. So you're able to kind of segment out based on people who reacted or who raised their hands and said they were interested in that. And then from there, you can start building, you can actually create your lookalike audiences and your custom audience from those who sign up to your summit list that were originally on your general giveaway list. I know might be a little confusing. I'm going to give you a full example on this. If you have any questions, just we can touch upon this on our live call. But I'll give a full example of what I mean with this giveaway ads. Yeah, so I know this was a lot to consider. We'll have another video that kind of walks through the back end of Facebook and kind of how to set up some of those ads. The idea here is test. If you only have a limited budget, then focus on the lead generation part, and then you can figure out the sales part with you just using your email. But ideally, you would have all three phases implemented, and ideally, you might be able to do giveaway ads to compare the performance of your leads coming from the giveaway ads and then to your summit ads versus the ones coming directly to your summit ads. Okay, so that's it for this video. I'll follow up with a second video on ads and some of the strategies that I use. But for now, I'll see you in the next video.